has performed very well on the ladder since the beginning of time, and most recently was crowned world champion. Sergio Ramos, the representative there from Mexico, got first place at World Finals back in December.
I think if you take a look at the whole of Clash Royale accomplishments, from ladder, top finishes, from performance at major live events, I don't think there is a more accomplished team out there than Nova Esports. And it stands to reason that Nova is one of the first teams that we can confirm are in the Clash Royale League. They are in the China region. They will not be, well, I don't know, right? We don't know the North American or EU teams, but we do know that the 8 Chinese organizations have been announced, and Nova Esports was one of them. So congratulations to that organization earning one of the very coveted spots in the upcoming Clash Royale League.
Certainly, and all the teams that are here at South by Southwest, of course, have got some of that highest tier, the most experienced players competing for them. I definitely expect to see these guys competing in the 20-win challenge, getting a chance to take a part in this Combine event, going to be starting up soon. But looks like Trainer Luis and Trainer Chris have got very similar deck setups here, both running Giant Prince so far. Clashing at the bridge over here on the left side. Looks like Trainer Luis might have the exact same setup as Trainer Chris, in fact.
Yeah, it might be a card-for-card match.
Yeah.
Oh, the zap come all different. I think the last card is, I think Poison's one of the last 2 cards, and if you're looking at the difference, there's Ice Spirit from Trainer Chris's deck and what, Log in Trainer Luis's deck, assuming they're running the exact same card for card.
Right. It looks like Trainer Chris ahead by a couple hundred hit points, but behind a couple drops of elixir here. Cycles through a Log out the right side to roll through that Ice Spirit, and it's going to be another mirror over on the right side. Ewiz is about to meet at the bridge. We'll see either player chooses to support this zappy dude out back. No, not going to happen. Looks like the blue Ewiz, though, has
Slightly
the better
ahead.
side, yeah, of this exchange. Might get a zap off onto the miner before he goes down there.
He does. So Dark Prince is making a debut here. Trainer Chris's last card. It looks like there's a little bit of difference here, because I'm not sure if Trainer Luis is running Miner, and I'm not sure if Trainer Chris is running Dark Prince.
Yeah, I like that there's always a little bit of variation to these decks. You know, there are over 80 cards in the game, so with those 8 card slots that you have available to you, it's always interesting to see what kind of tech options these guys go with here. Poison Spell coming in from Trainer Luis to get a lot of chip damage on tower, but narrowly misses that Electro Wizard out back. That's going to set up a very dangerous counter attack from Trainer Chris, coming in real hot. Prince making his way toward the tower. If he gets the charge hit off, that'll be a lot of damage. Can't get the charge, but does manage to stab it down, Remy.
Great counterattacking. Now, Electro Wizard is so hard to deal with if you're a Prince deck. That stun effect stops the charge of either Prince. And the Princes, they do double damage when they charge, so you really need that charge to build up and crash into enemy defenders to make it worth it. And unfortunately, Electro Wizard on defense is so good at making that difficult for you.
A very aggressive play out the left side. Trainer Luis connects on Trainer Chris's tower
Dark
in a
Prince is hitting
major
the
way.
tower.
Dark Prince is on the tower, but look at the right side. It's a race. The Giant gets it down to 1. It's back in France chatting here, and one of our Twitch partnered streamers, Hazard CR, also recently just got that 20-win in the CRL challenge. Congratulations to him. I hope to see lots more of them in the weeks to come.
Hazard's a good guy. I like Hazard. I hope that he signs with a CRL team. I think besides being a great content creator, good personality, nice kid. I hope he does well.
Yeah, and I just heard recently that he's actually an open agent, so keep an eye out, guys. If you're looking for some pro talent that couldn't quite make it here today to South by Southwest, that might be a decent pickup. Also, though, of course, we've got guys competing in this $20,000 prize pool event today, and they are going to have the times of their lives getting that big prize pool and showing off their skills to prospective pro teams.
Now, Woody, we've watched a lot of Clash Royale this weekend already, and one thing that's really stood out to me is these really defensive Expo placements. Look at how far to the right Expo is being placed, yet it's still enough to pull the Giant all the way toward the center of the board. That is some very high-tech placement that is going to separate an elite pro player from just your average jabroni in a grand challenge.
Certainly. I think that was a little bit unfortunate there for Trainer Chris. He had a Prince out back behind the Giant, trying to get a big stab in there, but the Expo locking onto that Prince early on kind of left that Prince high and dry. As soon as the Giant went down, there wasn't a whole lot else for him to do on the back end. Expo got quite a bit of value on defense there, but once again, a miner connecting on that back side. Trainer Chris is getting a lot of chip damage off there, and Trainer Luis doesn't have much to say about it. But well played.
He said good game, got a lot to say about it. But what's unfortunate there is Trainer Luis wasn't able to catch the miner. What you're trying to do with Ice Golem there is you want to put Ice Golem behind the miner, close enough to the tower that he walks between the miner and the tower and switches the miner attack from hitting the tower, which you don't want, to hitting the Ice Golem, which is pretty acceptable. Another Expo coming down to the right side. He's not going to defend that tower. Oh, he gets
the hit off. A massive strike for Trainer Chris, taking that left side tower down to triple digits. But Trainer Luis is in a bit of a tricky spot here. If he wants to try to push off this giant and get a connection at the right side, he's running out of time. 53 seconds left before we go into double elixir time. Nice hit there, but the poison taking that Expo down means that we're once again at a relative reset here. Both reaching 10 elixir. Trainer Chris will play a defensive Mega Mini out the right lane, maybe expecting another Expo to come in out there.
Now, I like Poison as a counter to Expo because you can't counter a Poison. There's no way to like sort of trump a Poison card when it comes down. If you look at an Expo deck, they always play Skeletons, Ice Golem, Log, Fireball, these sorts of cards. And the whole goal there is they want you to put stuff in front of the Expo. They want you to put Goblin Gang directly in front so they can log it away for a positive elixir value and then lock onto the tower. But when you poison the Expo, there's just nothing the Expo deck can do other than absorb the damage.
That's
it's
right.
Very hard to counter, and I think that's been one of the keys here from keeping Trainer Luis from hitting a tower.
And you saw why Trainer Luis is trying to switch over to the right lane. That poison damage ticking down meant that there wasn't anything to stop it at the end to both of them.
Here we go. Good luck comes out of Trainer Chris. Both of them edging into their seats, trying to focus as much as possible. There is no room for error in a match like this. Both are sitting at 10 elixir, waiting for the other to make a move. Big, deep sigh by Trainer Chris as he's worried. He's thinking about it. Here's the thing. If Trainer Chris is playing a deck that's not that great in double elixir time, then you got to make a move. You got to do something. A single Ice Spirit comes out trying to cycle. Trainer Luis does not react. Well played, he says. I think the idea there is trying to bait your opponent, right? Oh, Chris goes with the log for 2 elixir. Now, there's some stuff happening there. It's not, obviously not hitting anything, but he's cycling what he wants out of his hand. He's trying to get cheap cards out to get the more impactful cards from his deck into his hand so that when Trainer Luis makes the first move, you got a good counter for it.
That's right. He also wants to make sure that he doesn't give away any cards that would be necessary to counter anything that Trainer Luis could send at him. He's just trying to get a sense for what he can get away with here, trying to chip away at that right side tower. And he's actually done quite a bit of damage for the first minute. 500 damage off that right side for Trainer Luis means that the next push will have to be a little bit more well set up. And look at that. We got a Tesla right on the bridge. That signals that an Expo's coming soon after. An Ice Golem Mega Minion Expo Tesla combo on the right side is a massive siege setup from Trainer Chris, trying to find an inroad here on the right lane. We've got a P.E.K.K.A marching on in, though. Will she be able to get the value that she's looking for and get the chop on the Expo? Not looking likely. Miner out back will get the job done, though. Lots of hits off, but not quite enough.
Beautiful defense there by Trainer Chris. Used the Ice Spirit to freeze the Miner, preventing the Miner from doing enough damage to kill that Expo, and that generated 1,000+ damage on Trainer Luis's tower. Trainer Luis is already saying good game, looking dejected in his chair. That's an unfortunate trade. He had a tank, right? You have P.E.K.K.A, and you have Miner to throw behind the Expo. He did what you were supposed to do. Trainer Luis played that well, but Trainer Chris is just an absolute monster on defense. Made the right predictions, set up the Expo. Now, he hasn't won yet. Obviously, 1,200 still plenty on your tower, but I'm willing to bet that last card in Trainer Chris's deck, Fireball or Rocket, giving him an uncounterable, consistent way to get his damage onto the tower.
That's right. Trainer Luis is now in a pickle. Needs to find a way to get that damage off and get it fast. Defensive Ice Golem to block this Inferno Dragon out the right side is given the opportunity that this Expo needs to get the lock, and that right side is going down. No way to finish it off at this point. P.E.K.K.A on the counterattack, though, does have a lot of help. Had a Magic Archer, but not far along. Fireball is able to take him down, and that looks like Trainer Chris holding on strong out the right lane. Trainer Luis throws away his phone. He's going to try to recoup for the final 30 seconds of this game, but it would take a monster push to get this into an overtime.
He's pretty much going to have to do something that Trainer Chris doesn't expect, right? Like any of your standard pushes are going to be he's prepared for. You almost have to create weird interactions that he's not ready for in order to push through 1,800 damage in the next 20 seconds. But Fireball takes out Magic Archer, which means that it's hard to get your support going when he's just got a spell to take it out. Trainer Chris logs it, and he's going to take this match 2-1 and be our first top 8 competitor.
Great decision by Trainer Chris there to run a really standard Expo deck. It has a couple of bad matchups, but it is never down and out. You can always